Go.
So how would you describe your journey in caregiving? Pat's already given a few descriptions this morning, but is it challenging, frustrating, demanding, long? Personally, after about 9.5 years of caring for my husband, I'm tired. Tired of making decisions, tired of his care, sometimes not being at the level that I consider adequate, never mind optimal. Tired of trying to figure out what's the best thing to do for my husband, Roy. And I've heard all those statistics that say I'm hurting my health, my relationships, and my cognition because I'm a caregiver to someone with dementia. In a national poll that was reported in June 2019 in the American Journal of Psychiatric Gerontology, dementia caregivers frequently reported higher levels of stress, more depression, and more anxiety symptoms. No surprise. But here's what may surprise you. In that same report, 45% of respondents indicated that caring for someone with dementia was very rewarding. How does that happen? It happens when we acknowledge that caregiving can have both positive and negative effects at the same time. It happens when caregivers focus on the gifts that are inherent in caregiving instead of only the negative parts. These gifts may not be readily apparent as we struggle through each day. So our goal today is to take time to explore 12 of those gifts and how recognizing the gifts can make the caregiver journey a better one for ourselves and for our person living with dementia. The first gift, caregiving, gives us an opportunity to become closer to the person living with dementia. Caregiving is an intensely personal act. It often knocks down walls and opens the door to deeper and more meaningful conversations, particularly in the early stages of dementia. Caregiving provides a chance for us to express love, gratitude for the care that has been provided to us in the past, and gratitude for our relationship with the person living with dementia in general. Even if the relationship with the person with dementia has always been good, caregiving may move it to a higher level. On the other hand, if you are caring for a parent who has never been easy to get along with, you may see a side of vulnerability that you've never seen before. Seeing this vulnerability may make it easier to forgive wrongs from the past and move closer to the kind of relationship that you've wanted. The second gift, caregiving, gives us an opportunity to affect other family relationships, not just the relationship with the person who has dementia. Sharing in the care of a person living with dementia can bring family members closer to each other as they share the ups and downs of caregiving and work to identify ways to make life easier for everyone involved. I recently heard 3 adult children remark that they have always lived close to each other, but have become busy leading their own lives and didn't interact as much as they used to. Since their father had dementia, they talked multiple times a day and worked together to make sure that their mother had the support that she needed and that their father was well taken care of. Even if family relationships have been damaged or strained, having the common goal of caring for a person living with dementia may make mending relationships easier. The Alzheimer's Association reported that 35% of Alzheimer's caregivers said that they experienced stronger relationships with other family members during the caregiving journey. The third gift, as a caregiver, you can improve the quality of life for the person living with dementia. whether you're providing care at home or managing care in a facility. When you are a caregiver, you know that the person you love is safe and that you are working to make sure he is getting the best care possible. Even on bad days, you know that you've done the best you could to maintain a high quality of life for your loved one. And doing the best one can is all anyone can ask for. The fourth gift, being a caregiver gives one a sense of purpose. A Stanford psychologist defined purpose as a stable and generalized intention to accomplish something that is at once meaningful to the self and of consequence to the world beyond the self. Having a sense of purpose is more than getting dinner on the table or getting today's laundry done. It involves the sense of achievement we feel when we reach beyond ourselves. Caregivers can look back on the care they are providing with a sense of accomplishment and pride. According to a study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, having a sense of purpose in life is associated with a lower risk of death. The fifth gift, being a dementia caregiver teaches us to live in the moment. How many times have we talked about that or thought about that? For a person with dementia, there is often no yesterday or tomorrow. There is only right now. If we are going to relate to this person, we have to learn that there's only right now too. I found the best explanation of living in the moment in an article by Deborah Landwehr Engel. Here's what that article says. Living in the moment doesn't mean erasing the past or thinking it's not important. You are the sum and substance of every experience and relationship you've had up to this very moment, and all of it matters. It doesn't mean walking blindly into the future or ignoring your dreams and plans. Living in the moment means that we don't get stuck in the past or in the future. It means we don't limit ourselves with old beliefs or let guilt and shame rule our decisions. Living in the moment means being liberated from baggage that can get in our way. It means looking at those old photos and mementos and celebrating what they represent, knowing that they contribute to, but do not limit who we are today. Living in the moment means throwing all caution to the wind. It means drawing on the strength within you each and every moment to celebrate who you are, who the person living with dementia is, to honor your relationships, or just to enjoy a beautiful day. And perhaps most importantly, living in the moment means being present so you can witness the miracles of everyday life without the distractions of fear clouding your view. The sixth gift of caregiving. Caregiving provides an opportunity for us to teach the younger generation what's important. In caregiving, we are modeling actions that convey our priorities and our values. In other words, we're passing on a tradition of care. My older granddaughter, who is 14, has been involved with the care of my husband from the beginning, and her sister, who is now 9, has been around caregiving her entire life. Both are quick to ask what they can do to help when Papa needs anything, and often figure out what he needs before I do. We frequently hear people talk about leaving a legacy. What does that really mean? Legacy is defined as what you can do now that will affect your life and other lives, and that can endure for a long time. I particularly like what Jean Wise has to say about the word legacy. She says this: legacy is the story of one person's spirit inscribed on another person's soul. Being a caregiver is part of the legacy I want to leave to my family. It's a wonderful gift that we can pass on to others. The seventh gift, caregivers learn to ask for and accept help. Most people are willing to help others at any time, but don't want to ask for help themselves, no matter what their circumstances. But we can't sustain the demands of caregiving without the help of others. We often make new friends when we ask for and accept help. That new friend may be a neighbor who offers to pick up groceries for you. It may be the person from church that brings a meal, or it may be those people in your support group who remind you that you are not alone in the midst of your difficulties. Maya Angelou says, when we give cheerfully and accept gracefully, everyone is blessed. Have you considered making a list of things that you can accept gracefully when someone asks what they can do to help you? The eighth gift, we learn what we may need in the future and how to better prepare for it. Managing the care of someone living with dementia means that we develop insights and information we wouldn't have had otherwise. We have to learn about physician care, home care, equipment, insurance, and maybe long-term care facilities. As someone I used to work with was fond of saying, all those things we are being forced to learn against our will. The knowledge that we can gain in doing that can lay the groundwork for knowing what options are available to us in the future and help us better understand those options so that we can better plan for making sure our own wishes are met as we age. The ninth gift, being a caregiver inspires self-confidence. Think about some of the worst days you've had. Frequently, what we label as a horrible day is one during which we feel out of control of what is happening much of the time. Feeling out of control not only makes us feel generally uncomfortable, but at times it can be absolutely debilitating. When we learn new skills as a caregiver, we develop confidence and a can-do attitude. This in turn gives us some feeling of control over our situation. In caregiving, we often find we are like that proverbial tea bag that exhibits its strength only when in hot water. Not only do we learn new skills and experience personal growth as caregivers, but we may find a new calling which enriches our lives in the future as a result of the caregiver experience. This class is an example of a new calling that both Pat and I have found through our caregiving experiences. The 10th gift, caregiving increases our ability to focus on the positives. Are you a glass half empty or a glass half full sort of person? I'll admit that I have vacillated between the two during my adult life. However, I've learned that the only way to move forward with care for Roy is to focus on what is left and not on what has been lost. Oh, the list of losses is long, and sometimes I'm all too aware of them. But what I focus on every day is what he can still do. Walk short distances, eat well when assisted with feeding, recognize me, hold my hand, kiss me and tell me he loves me. What beautiful parts of our relationships to still have. The 11th gift, caregivers stay in better physical shape. Even if we don't want to sometimes. We cook, we wash clothes, we clean up accidents, we walk with someone who can't be still. Studies show that caregivers who do a lot for their person living with dementia actually perform better on tests of grip strength, rising from a chair, and walking pace. They also score higher on tests that measure memory and other cognitive skills. Who would have thought? The 12th gift, caregiving gives us opportunities to experience gratitude. A publication of the Harvard Medical School defines gratitude as a thankful appreciation for what an individual receives, whether tangible or intangible. With gratitude, people acknowledge the goodness in their lives. As a result, gratitude also helps people connect to something larger than themselves as individuals, whether that is to other people, nature, or to a higher power. Gratitude is a recognition of the goodness in our lives and of how that gift of goodness came to us. Psychologists find that over time, feeling grateful boosts happiness and fosters both physical and psychological health, even among those who are already struggling with mental health problems. People who are grateful feel less pain, less stress, suffer less insomnia, have stronger immune systems, and experience healthier relationships. Let's go through those 12 gifts one more time, just as a list. The first gift we get is developing a closer relationship to the person living with dementia. The second, positively affecting other family relationships. The third, improving the quality of life for the person living with dementia. Fourth, giving us a sense of purpose. 5, teaching us to live in the moment. 6, giving younger generations a legacy of caring. 7, learning to ask for and receive help. 8, learning what we ourselves may need in the future. 9, inspiring self-confidence. 10, increasing our ability to focus on the positives in life. 11, staying in better physical shape. And 12, practicing an attitude of gratitude. Not only do caregivers who perceive more benefits from caregiving report lower levels of depression and a greater sense of well-being and satisfaction, but there is evidence that they experience the positive benefits of caregiving well after caregiving has ended. And isn't that what we really want? To find joy in our journey and in our life after the journey is over.